Welcome back to the Death Needs Dialogue Entertainment Network. This is The Depths of Felthan, Episode 22, The New Gretch Gang, Part A. We have in attendance today the wonderful and amazing Heidi, who plays... Who do you play again?
Huh?
Who do you play?
What do you mean?
Your character. What's your character?
Oh, she's a druid. Elf? Named?
Galus.
Bingo.
Thank you. We'll get there.
We have the always incredible Asta, Sheena in attendance as well.
Hello.
And the destroyer Tanith.
Hello.
And Erelon, the man who says too much all of the time and makes so many good things happen. And a new addition, Scotty, playing Beardo.
Hello.
Our first decidedly evil race to join the party.
I'm gonna be seeing Scotty doesn't know now.
I
the
think
rest of the
that's what's happening in my
afternoon.
brain right now.
Don't make me kill
Bro.
you. You have no idea how close it is for real with this character.
Don't make
Wait
Ken
for
kill
it.
you, that's all I'm saying. Don't
What
make
were you
Ken...
going to do?
Oh,
Dan just likes to kill things. It's fine.
it's been kind of my low-key for the past 20 years.
It's just like 20 years.
Maybe we just be friends.
Past 20 years of my life.
That's why he has all those
Although,
weapons.
need I remind you that for the first several episodes, Nani was the only one who had actually killed anybody.
This is true. First blood and second blood.
And
I
second
believe.
blood, yeah.
And first time, the second time was with what? Pot of hot tea?
A cup of fun. Well, technically,
Oh, good.
Erelon killed him.
You made him go unconscious.
I killed the guy in the alleyway, the mugger.
That's right. Repercussions still to come for that.
Yeah.
Pretty
Whatever.
wild.
I think technically Erelon killed the second one.
It was a technique. It was an assist.
By right.
Definitely assist. You made him unconscious.
I
Erelon
just-
knocked him out with the medicine check.
Ruined Erelon.
Natural
Elbow
medicine
dropped him.
check.
Elbow dropped him.
Yeah, it was the Ric Flair does the elbow drop.
Woo!
Excellent. So, at last we were, guys. You had faced off against two waves of bugs, creepy crawlies. The first one of beetles just swarming the entire Underforged. You guys sliced and smashed through with ease. And then came the soldiers, the soldier ants that came in and did some very much destruction, with most of the NPCs throwing them in lava, where we lost Delkek to the lava and Dermot to the lava. The only one NPC that survived was Deximus Orson, who saved the...
Shout out to Neil.
That's right, Neil is our only patron right now. He gives us $2 a month. He's a beautiful man.
None of us have ever actually seen. Just
And
saying.
you will see him if you go to Halcon this summer, or in October this
Well, I
summer.
meant
in
the
October.
$2 a month.
Oh, that? Well, that was in Spencer's Gardens.
Which we
and
never see.
I
On
actually
our
haven't,
royalties, Kale, damn it!
I want a receipt.
I actually haven't taken it out of the system yet. I bought things with it. It's like, okay, I'm going to take it out of PayPal, and I never did it. So it's just still stacking and stacking and stacking.
I'm not concerned. I
So-
will happily donate my 34 cents back into the
Fantastic.
pot.
And, yeah, back on track. Shit. The two waves, the soldier ants that you guys defeated with the one prince that they were led by, who was strangely taken over by the green haze behind his eyes and that dank smell that filled the air. You know, due to definitely somebody's interaction with the pantheon that was set out around the Underforge.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but it was perfectly role played and just amazing.
It was on brand.
It was perfect. But you guys won. You guys destroyed the second. There were actually two of those very large boulets. The first one was killed by the lava and the explosions. The second one, the final blow delivered by Erelon with his bell of
Told the
told
dead.
the undead.
Yeah.
Told the dead.
That sounds ominous.
It worked. The creature's whole body shattered just like a plate of glass, all the way up, and he died instantly. It was beautiful.
Sounds like he can use some glue.
It's going to be take a couple 100 pounds of glue to put him back together.
That's not bad.
And then our druid, Galus, gave birth to 2 children. One of them, their skin alight with this golden sheen. The other, their skin pale with this dark, shadowed shroud around it. And I think the only one to really see it was Erlon and Galus. You were the only 2 to really see that shadow among that particular child. One a boy, and the latter a girl, which is really cool for roleplay. You guys have no idea. Wait till you hear. So,
I don't even know.
for the new addition today, Berto, I'll get you to roll your stats, please.
Alright.
This is one of my most favorite moments.
You want me to roll them all first, or then choose which ones? Or?
Yeah, roll first, write them all down, then you can divvy them up in however you like. And call them out once you... Oh my god.
15.
Back to you.
11, 15.
That's right.
That's 15.
And roll 7 and drop the last.
Let's say 12.
12.
Good number.
That
It's
wasn't.
got to be inside.
Yeah, that was inside.
Oh,
Good roll.
Fuck. 11.
11. Oh,
Yeah. Falls in my fingers. Ooh, 8. 13.
another 11.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Ooh,
That's
okay.
better.
16.
16.
Good, good. That's good.
So you just want 6, right?
Roll another one.
Oh, roll that one for
And you drop the lowest out of all 7.
Alright.
Very nice. I see a 6.
Oh, wow. 7 plus 6, 13.
Okay, good. Well rounded.
Okay, so we're up at 11.
Okay, now you can plug those into wherever they're necessary. And Heidi, I'll get you to roll stats for your character.
How many is it? Is it 4?
4 dice, drop the lowest. And then roll 7 of those and drop the lowest.
Ooh, nice. That's 13.
It comes from Costco.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
bought it with 400.
11.
11.
It's like $8.
Oh my god.
You're killing me, Cal. I had
Here.
good stats.
Add.
You wanna pull it out?
Switch out dice.
Change them up.
Switch dice. Give you
Yeah,
two.
that one.
I mean, those ones seem to serve Scott.
Yeah.
What do you those? Yeah.
There we go.
Just buy a bag of dice.
9.
No, these are just a bag that I pre-use.
Okay.
I put all my resin ones in there.
That's way better. That's 16.
There you go.
You're welcome.
It's good to have at least 116.
That's individuals that tie the house.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Is that an 18?
That's 17.
Good, good.
Nice.
No, 12 and 5 is, yeah, 17.
Oh yeah.
So
That's
Yeah,
good. It's
okay,
17 to
we're
16. It don't matter what any of your other stats are at that point.
Well, if that's a martial class, so we know where that's going.
yeah, strength dex.
Or con.
Okay. And
Fucking.
let's go with Asta. Please roll your hit points.
D12, right?
D12. In the container.
So,
Sounds good.
What's your con?
And remember, Scotty, new to you, when we roll hit points for characters,
Yeah.
you have an option for the gods to re-roll your dice. If you don't like it, I roll it in secret. You either take mine or take yours. I don't tell you what mine is. So if you roll like a 1 or a 2,
you always say it.
but it's been often happened on a few occasions where I've rolled a 1 or a 2.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going from a 1 or a 2, it's not.
Yeah, you can't get much worse.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind once we roll those hit points, which we'll likely do at the end of the session tonight, because you will most likely be at level 3 if you survive.
Big
I love how
gift.
that's worded. If you survive.
I always have to back it up with it because I can make no guarantees. I
The
stick with
dice will
the.
roll how they roll.
This is true.
Yeah, especially, yeah.
So we're gonna go with Galus first. What's your new hit point total, Galus? I have 29 written down.
It is 36.
36. Alright. Nani, what's your new hit points?
51.
51. Very good. Very strong. Alright. And Tanith, your total hit points?
64.
64.
Yeah.
God damn. Alright. And Erlon?
A total of 46.
Spicy.
That's gonna feel good.
Seven
Give you a little more beef to get hit with, eh?
Yeah, tough feet really helps.
There you go. Did you retroactively put those in? It's retroactive for all your previous levels.
Just check my cons. Get cons plus 0, so it'd just be flat dice roll plus 2. So that'd be a maximum of. I'd have a maximum of 50, so I must have. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, 46. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Okay, and your hit points are going to be just starting out of what they are.
Yeah, so
So you don't have to roll. That's just max on your first level.
Oh, we're gonna do max
Yeah,
for first level?
max. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's the
Alright,
rule.
so 12 plus 2, so 14.
Okay, 14. Thank you.
Oh, I remember when I was just a baby.
You were
I
still
guess I
800
wasn't
years
really-
old, but
I guess I wasn't
really.
300.
Is that right? For that? That's the strength and
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Let's go.
You can also be dex.
Different.
That's
It can be dex
yeah,
instead
it's
of-
interchangeable. I'm not concerned about that.
That doesn't affect like spellbound.
No, not those two scores.
Okay.
Just your charisma's the big one. That's
So I want that one to be
yeah, probably. That runs all of your magical
that.
everything.
Okay.
All right. So, with all the numbers and stuff out of the way, welcome back, everybody, and thank you for coming. Thanks, Scotty, for coming by, buddy. I know you're only playing one session, and we're putting it on the back burner for a couple months, diving into something else, but I wanted to get you here so you're in now and in here for the potential downtime that's going to happen.
Perfect, works for me.
So, at last we were. Galus had just given birth to 2 children. One of them lovely, maybe one of them not so lovely. We don't know.
Hey, hey,
Talk about my babies like
don't
that.
talk about my babies like that.
Our babies.
Don't talk about our kids like that.
Nani, you had just passed Galus this. Oh, roll perception, please. Now that's there.
That's not great.
It's Nani.
That's 10.
Okay,
Yeah,
10, 10's all right. When you passed the first child to Nani, a baby boy, you seen that this baby boy's skin was glowing this golden hue. You passed it to her, and it was crying. The second child that came out, a baby girl, pale skin, shrouded in darkness, not crying. You looked up at Galus and passed the baby to her silently. And that's where we broke. And that's where we will begin. And we're going to start with Galus. You've just been passed your 2 children. Around you, there are people crying in agony after what just happened. There was a massive wild magic surge that, for 30 feet out, hit everybody for 4d10 damage, something like that.
That was from me. Wasn't
That was
it?
from
yeah.
you. Well, more so
Wow.
from the children.
Okay.
More so from the children, but by, maybe all
extension.
3 of you. By extension, exactly. So as you guys kind of look around, you can see people on the ground, some of them already kind of dried up into corpses laying there on the ground, where others are just kind of look like they're visibly drained. You can also see about 3 of these blue shaded men kind of form up together off in the corner. You guys can hear this wash of ocean surge kind of whoosh as he's forming, and he forms this man that you guys are familiar with, Oros, one of the gods of the pantheon, the god of war.
Is he lesser in size than he usually is?
considering half of him.
You know, he is his normal size, but you have seen him grow into the size of a giant. But as of now, he has to activate that. You've seen him walk around as a normal person. He still looks about 7.5, 8. No, how tall did I say he was?
Like 9 feet.
Like 9 feet. Yeah, he still looks about that high.
He's big.
I'm only taller than him because of my height.
And he's over there, and he's about 30 or 40 feet away, and begins to start walking up. You guys are all up on the underforge.
Erlon gets up because he was knocked unconscious at the end of the episode, and he
That's right.
did. Man, I think somebody healed him.
That's right.
No,
Somebody
he was
did.
behind me. Remember?
Probably me.
Yeah,
That's right. You got knocked out. Tanith gave you a potion. You got behind Galus and helped with the birthing. And yeah, so that was it.
I thought you were
So
saying
you had already taken that
Okay.
40-10. You already calculated that, and Tanith gave you that potion to bring you almost right back up.
So then Galus would be resting in my lap, basically, at this moment.
Holding her 2 children.
Yeah. And I would be looking down upon them both because I'm like,
You're right there.
yeah, embracing her. So looking at the 2 children that seem to be opposites of one another in almost every aspect. Erlon just stays quiet for the time being, not sure what to make of that the girl.
It's an interesting moment after all the death and destruction that's just happened. This moment of peace and life. It's a huge contrast. What do you guys do? Tanith? Nani? Nani, your hands. You just pulled out the afterbirth. Your hands are full.
You don't ever pull it out.
No, it came out. Just a little tug.
Sorry. A little second. Go.
Your hands are full of afterbirth.
Well, that's good.
Juicy.
I mean, I just get rid of that. I'll wipe my hands on my
Tanith
one of
will
my
actually,
nannies.
upon seeing Oros reform and make his way over, Tanith will actually voice a question. Lord Oros, what is this? What happened with these children?
Ask the person who would probably know.
He's the
Why
only
we have
person
him.
who would know.
He's your only source of
He is
information.
literally
So-
that.
Ask the god in the room.
I mean, there might have been some other god in the room at the time.
Well, there was.
That the old lady summoned.
Oh, I'm out of wine. Shit. Oh.
That's what Oros says.
More
There's
wine!
not enough wine for
I need
this
more
story.
wine! Contemplate.
Oros walks up beside Galus, and he's standing 9 feet tall, and he's looking way down at you guys as you're all kind of laying on the floor. And he looks with this puzzled, kind of concerned look on his face, and he says, and he looks at you, Tanith, and he looks at you, Erlon, and he looks at you, Galus, and he says, "Congratulations. You have given birth to gods."
Pardon?
And he just nods at you.
Gods.
He crouches down on one knee and he says, "Yes, gods.
How is that possible?
It's just the way of things. Gods can be made through ways, but true gods are born." And he reaches out to kind of touch one of them.
He's a god. I'll allow it.
He touches one. The one
Wash your hands now.
yeah.
Not
Hey, you
my
say that
protections.
you can see him reach out for the boy first with the golden sheen on him. He just kind of rubs his fingers on the cheek, and the little boy kind of grabs at his hands, and you can see his hand dissipate into water and kind of curl around the baby's hand, and then he curls it off, and then he goes to reach out for the other one, and he stops for a moment. Just hesitates just for a moment, and then reaches in and kind of brushes her on the cheek, and she's just looking at you, Galus, not saying a word. She's a child, not making any
She's
noise.
a newborn.
Exactly.
She's not even.
She just looks at you, not making any noise, and doesn't seem to react to his touch. And he kind of has a small nod about that, and then draws back. He looks at you, Tanith.
Since I'm there, could I roll insight
Yes, of course. Insightful.
to see what he's feeling, I guess, or because he did hesitate on the second kid. Probably not going to get much. I got an 11 on that.
11. Just some hesitation, somehow.
Is there something wrong?
There's nothing wrong with any god.
What does
They
that
are
mean?
meant to be what they are meant to be.
What are they meant to be then?
Oh, he looks and he brushes the boy's face again. He says, "This boy, he's god of life. You can feel it. I can see it. Your girl is a god of death."
She just nods.
Sounds like Kel'Dron has some competition now. Or a lessening of duties.
Speaking of that, as you mentioned the name Kel'Dron,
Oh, great.
you
Stop
guys,
summoning things, you guys!
I didn't
No!
do it. I didn't.
My
do
god
it.
is already here!
Where's mine? Why didn't my god show up for this?
He's a wuss.
Phew.
Eh.
as Tanith, you say that, you guys can hear this wind, this, not really a gust, just this howl down at the bottom of the Underforge. As you guys can see shadows and smoke kind of form into this cloak and begin to approach. This creature is approaching you in this cloak of shadows. You can see the cloak billow out behind her and kind of stay where it was as it still begins to billow and it does not change. And she pulls down the hood and you guys recognize this person. It's Tenzani.
Ah, Tanzani, that's that
Why are you here?
once zombified girl.
She's not now?
She
There were
looks
lessening effects.
quite whole. Both of her eyes seem to be working in unison this time. Her skin doesn't look as pale, as cracked, as rotted.
We did give her quite a lot of life force. Some of our acquaintances
That's
Not
true.
it.
who wanted stuff.
And she stops. And she stops about 20 feet away, not even all the way up the ramp. And she just stands there, gazing at the children. And you gaze.
I hold them a little tighter. She's squeaky.
She's... Yeah, you guys...
Nani gets in between them.
You
Gets a
already are,
frying
so
pan
that's-
ready.
That character really took a nerve on everybody, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
She is everything.
It's the
Tanith
voice. It's the voice you use for Tanzania.
Tanith will stand up and ready his axe just in case. He does not like her at all.
Oros stands up again and he looks over at Tenzani and he just nods.
I mean,
Insight. Oh god.
Oh, there you go. That's good.
18.
18. Think like he expected someone. And he says, "Welcome, emissary of Kel'Dron."
that was the word I was looking for.
Oh.
I was going to say she's basically like the gatekeeper for Kel'Dron. But that's the word I was looking for.
Upon hearing that, Tanith will actually stand down. He'll holster his axe.
No.
No, not
She's
me.
come to take my child, so
Not
you
me.
better,
You gotta go through the 4-foot dwarf if you want a baby. That's all there is to it.
Nobody's taking my child.
Aaron,
Somebody already took the first one.
I mean, somebody did.
What?
Somebody did.
What was your character's name that killed my husband?
Vega.
Vega. Well,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't him. They were trying to figure out what the other character's name was.
Oh, yeah.
My drow.
Yeah.
Kidnapper, basically. He was a ranger, but turned into a kidnapper. The last job.
And
For
all those
hefty sum of
characters
50
available.
gold points.
Oh, what?
All those characters available for play if your particular character dies. That's why I kept them in the loop. So if Tanith were ever die, you could step in the foot, in the shoes of him.
Isn't he
Isn't he
currently
dead?
captive?
I thought he got
No,
shanked by
he's-
goblins.
Isn't he
Oh, he
captive?
did, but he's not dead.
He's captive with Rose, isn't
Yeah,
he?
that's right. The Rose
Yeah, because
and
that's what we were talking about earlier. I was like, what was the name? Who was
And
What
that?
about
Garden
these
of Eden.
storylines you keep leaving behind, Cal?
oh, they're not left behind. Trust me. I just haven't got to an intro where I could introduce them again because we haven't progressed to the point where changes would affect them. You guys are at sea somewhere.
then we're not there.
I fought a teddy bear or something.
What?
Didn't Rose try to fight somebody? Last time I played Rose.
Yeah, you tried to fight the boss of that gang. It was a bugbear, and he picked you up and
Bugbear,
tossed
I
you
knew.
through the door. Yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
That was fun.
Sorry, side trails.
Yeah, that's the way it happened.
That was a conversation.
That's why we edit. That's why we're not live, because it would just...
It'd be
It's
hours.
a shit show.
Yeah. That's why we edit 6.5 hours down to 4 and 20 minutes.
Yeah, which skips the whole lunch break, all the off-topic
Exactly.
profanity.
Yeah.
Every
Intro,
time
the
you go to
outro.
pee,
Yeah.
Yeah, the PG-18 talk.
Yeah.
Well,
And
yeah.
so Tanzani then nods back to Oros and she says, "Thank you, Oros, god of war. Your welcome is most gracious." She stands there watching.
Why are you here?
"I am here for them." She points at her 2 fingers and you can see her hand extend about 12 or 14 inches longer than it should as it kind of reaches out. The bones don't move, they just seem to expand and reach outwards. It feels gross even trying to do it with my own hand.
A Reed Richards moment.
Ugh. God. She says, "They are not safe here." She looks around, she looks up and around. "There is much danger within these stones."
Well, then get us out of here. You seem to be the gatekeeper of all things.
"I cannot protect all of you. I have come for them. They require protection, solitude, seclusion." Oros then nods and says, "She is absolutely correct. They need to be hidden from him." And he looks at you, Nani.
From who?
There's a pause in the gaze for a moment.
I assume it!
And he says, "Delron, of course. He is watching. He is listening." And he looks on the ground and you see the scorpion kind of scraggling up and he flips up his foot and stomps on the scorpion. You can hear this crack and this squish as it dies. He says, "He has seen everything. He knows they are here.
So if he comes for them,
And he will."
we can't stop him on our own.
why does he want them?
He
They are a threat. Plain and simple.
They're babies.
There's-
Just a baby.
In time, she is a threat to him as a whole.
No one is taking my children.
Then perhaps, maybe, Lord Oros, Lady Tanzani, could Galus go with them to raise them properly?
I have that written down.
You need to drink more wine more often because you are nailing
More
it.
wine! But I'm out of
Get
wine!
you
The
another-
Yeti is
I'm gonna
empty!
get you another Yeti, my friend.
It's like, I'm going to the liquor store, I'll be right back.
Oros looks at you, Tanith, and he says, "You are wise." And he is correct. He looks at you, Galus. They will need nurturing. They will need a mother. And a guardian. Someone to protect them. His gaze turns to you, Nani.
That's me.
I'm gonna fucking cry, Kale. Why would you do this to me? Pick it back up. Let's play this game.
Perfect.
At the mention of the prospect of Galus leaving and seeing Oros's gaze fall upon Nani as well, the grip that Erelon had on Galus's shoulder just tightens just a little bit.
He bought me fancy undergarments, remember? That I'm still currently wearing, by the way.
Well, probably not.
Well,
And slide to the
3 weeks
side.
later.
Slide to the side. Children out, slide
Baby,
over. Okay.
close that up, carry on back to the door.
Bag of holding, just
God. Don't open that.
Call my womb a bag of holding.
I mean,
You're
quite
right.
right.
Hey, it was magical. 2 magical creatures came out of there.
And it was
That's special right there.
That got weird.
Scott's like, what the hell I got myself
I'm just trying not to laugh super loud since I haven't been introduced
Absolutely
yet.
no idea what he's gotten himself into with Tam.
So Tanzani walks a bit closer, And she says, I can bring you there. Down past the depths of Kel'Dron, into the source itself.
Take me down.
There, you will be safe. There, you will be protected.
I'm never getting out of this fucking mountain. Cut that part out. We're literally going further into the pit that Galus didn't want to be in.
You haven't been. All you wanted to do was get outside, and they're pulling you to literally the core of the planet.
But you will be perfectly safe there.
Perfectly.
It's a beautiful place.
Galus will be fucking insane when she comes back.
If she's not insane now.
Just hung out with Bonnie for how long?
High five.
I don't know.
This will be our interesting reintroduction when she comes back.
It will be.
Yeah.
It will be.
Erlon leans in just a little bit and lowers his tone.
Are you gonna whisper?
I'm afeared that if Delron is to grab hold of these children, that the sowing seeds of chaos that might spread from this point forward might cause worldly destruction. I don't think that there's much of a choice. He squeezes a little bit tighter on your shoulder, as much as I hate it.
As much as I hate it, I think you're right.
Tanzania then says, have you chosen then? Do you wish to come with me?
I go where they go.
They will come with us then. She kind of looks around. Where is the shadowed one?
Delkek, he fell into lava.
He's over there, and there, and there, and there. Not good.
I mean, he's kind of there.
A little bit too soon.
You guys can see Tanzani's eyes close, and she kind of looks up and leans her head back, like she's thinking, a little bit of rapid eye movement, and she sets her gaze back down. It is imperative that we take your children away from here. Delkek has not registered on Kel'Dron's strings. His energy has been taken somewhere else. Somewhere not where it began, not where it's supposed to go. She holds her hand out beside her, and right beside her stand, like out over the lava pit, you guys can see a rift open. A slit going down first and then opening wider, maybe about 5 feet by 10 feet. And you guys can see within there, you guys can see this bright light shine out first and then fade as if your eyes are adapting to it. And far in the back, you guys can see this silver and golden globe way in the back. And you guys can see a shadow moving around it. Almost like the shadow that the cloak that Tanzania is wearing right now.
Is that... What is that?
That is the land of Kel'Dron. There, you and your offspring will be protected. There, you will be safe.
Okay, let's just look at Nan.
Nope.
I don't think we have a choice.
I go wherever you go.
Oros bends down again, puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, there is no time to lose. You must go. He could send more of his Overwrought at any point.
Okay.
You guys kind of hear in the back. Actually, roll perception, everybody.
7, I'm not.
No.
Oh
you're
well, it
kind
would be
of left
13, I guess.
Okay, 13. That's
9.
9.
13.
13. The two 13s, you guys can hear footsteps, like armor clanging, as if they're marching. You're not sure where it's coming from, though, and you don't hear that, Timothy.
Sticking Penfield.
Start to struggle against Erlon, like I'm trying to get up.
How do you feel when you hear that? What do you
Panic.
feel? Panic? as you feel that, as you feel panicked, you guys all see around the children, around the boy, a globe of green, hazy green. No smell of dank green. Erlon, you would notice it as a shade of green that you're familiar with. A shade of Brynhilda.
Brynhilda.
Around the daughter, around your daughter, you see a shade of blue that you're familiar with. Same shade of blue.
Alar.
And you can see
Fitting considering what we need, right?
and you can see both of these children's eyes kind of move, kind of over your shoulder, and looking at a space kind of behind you where nobody's standing right now.
If I look, do I see anything?
Do you look?
I look.
You don't.
What is it? What is it?
They sense something.
Well, if it's anything nefarious, we need to get them out. We need to get them out of here. Get them somewhere safe.
Kalis nods, tries to get up again.
Take them.
Just handing me over the creepy one. Just take them, go.
Oros has his hand on your shoulder and he just kind of shifts it underneath your armpit and lifts you with ease. Just whoop, right up. You're right up on your feet now. Erlon, you're still there on your ass behind her and just lifted right up out of your arms. Your grasp on her arm kind of slips off.
He
down
willingly
your
lets
hand.
go.
He says, "You must go now."
She nods. Solemnly.
He looks to Tanith and he looks to Erlon and Deximus is there and he says, "Make your goodbyes quick. There is not much time."
We may yet see each other again at some point.
Oh, I think we will.
Erlon turns his back, and you just hear,
All Tanith says is, Nani, good food.
High praise.
No, he toddles over and just hugs him.
Oh.
Don't forget, you guys all have those onesies she made for you.
Oh yes.
Yeah, you do.
And mine's been magically adjusted.
That's right, it has. So, Oros kind of walks you over there, takes your hand out from the armpit, just puts it on your lower back and kind of guides you over. Tenzani's standing there, as creepy as ever. Big smile on her face, just
She
don't
hurts
know
my
why.
soul.
And she says, "Welcome. Please enter the realm of Kel'Dron." You can feel this cool wind, this cool breeze coming out. It's dry and kind of clammy at the same time. It doesn't smell bad or anything. It's somewhat unwelcoming.
Yeah, doesn't feel like I want to go there.
Definitely feels like a completely different environment than you're used to.
Erlon clasps his hands together with his back turned and offers a prayer under his breath in Elven to Brynhilda. Just offering protection, offering thanks, protection for the children.
Okay?
Kalis would probably also be praying to Grenilda. Just for guidance and strength to go
Okay.
forward.
You guys kind of hear yourself speaking the same words of prayer. Do you walk through? As you
Yeah.
walk in, it is cool, clammy, like I said. Nani, do you follow?
Oh yeah.
As you're going through, Oro stops you. And he says, "Protect her. Don't trust anything."
I don't even think I trust you.
And he nods with respect at that. He says, "Good."
Good. Good.
And Tanzani, after you guys walk through, Tanzani says to Oros, "It has been very nice to see you again, Oros, until our next encounter." And then she begins to fade away. You guys can hear a rippling of the cloak as it kind of billows up behind her to her back, and she walks into the opening. The cloak kind of covers it over, and then it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and then disappears. Galus and Nani are no longer in the party.
Walking up beside Oros, Tanith will say, I don't know about you, but She's always been creepy. For the 2 interactions I've had with her.
Waiting for Oris to wink or something, like they had a weird love tryst going. But it's just...
That was an interesting way to take that.
That's just the vibe I was getting from Tanzani. She's like, till next time.
Oros is still there. He did go in. But he turns around and he says to you all that is left, I must go. I have been greatly weakened, and I cannot sustain another battle, if there is one to become. If you do not survive, I will see you in the next life. You guys can hear that. If you want to say something.
Erelon just holds up a hand after turning it back towards them and says, the Emerald Guard. Do you know of them?
I know of the Emerald Guard. And just for a second, you can see his form kind of change to almost a humanoid from Delron in that similar garb. And then he turns back.
He just slowly nods, and then he furrows his brow. I'm making it out of here. And they will die. Know this.
Puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, pray to me at my altar. And then takes his arm away. Tanith, do you want to say anything to Oros before he leaves?
Just give him a salute.
He gives you a nod, and as he's giving you that nod and to salute himself, from the top of his head he salutes outwards, and the hand begins to turn to water, like white water rapids as it rushes down all the way down past his chest to his hips, to his knees, and it just washes away off of the platform that leads up to the underforge, hits the hot lava, and explodes into steam. You guys can't see anything for about 6 seconds, and then it whooshes away. And after the steam, kind of, the sound from the steam dissipates, you guys can hear the steady steps of armor-clad men moving forward, as you can still hear the people and the creatures around you crying out in agony, some of them.
Erelon dons his bull staff and looks around. Where is it coming from?
Now it's close enough you guys can all hear it. It's coming from the entrance that you guys came in.
Not the one that was destroyed by the lava in the ravine.
Nope, the one that you guys came in the very first time you came into the Underforge. Not from where the main force of the
Fucked up way to
overall.
get here.
You have the choice, for sure.
That's a hard choice to make.
Sorry?
To come through there with numbers? Oof. That's a hard choice.
There's armored men. Armored.
If they're not ants, I'll be happy. If they are ants, I guess I'll die how I lived.
No, we're not dying yet. The ravine, the tunnel that they pushed out of, that we sent the lava down, we scouted that out. That might be the only way left out of here.
As you guys look to the
South?
south, yeah, where you guys came in at that entrance, you can see black armored dragonborn, rank after rank, about 40 of them come out of that one.
The knights. They're here.
The Knights of Oros. And as they walk up steadily, they're still about 160 feet away, but they're walking steadily. You guys can see within the middle of them, there are 3 robed people.
At the sight of this, Erelon just kind of he kind of collapses on his ass.
Did you get up yet?
Did
Okay.
Tanith will visibly relax at seeing this.
well, at least we won't die alone.
At about 60 feet away, they stop. one of the people in the middle, one in robes, kind of walks up between them, and the Oros soldiers move out of the way. The Knights of Oros move out of the way in part form, and he says, "Ah, look, I told you! They were here! They were here! Nobody believed me!" And he says, looks back, "Get to work! Now!" The soldiers break up into 3 groups. Each group splits up with one of the robed individuals. One of them goes off to the right-hand side, begins summoning something, and you guys can hear the ground kind of shake and break a little, and you guys can see this black tree kind of grow up from the ground up into the darkness. Another one moves up and towards the people that are on the ground and beginning to check and heal people as they go. Most of them, they just shake their head and move to the next. The one that told everybody, or told the soldiers that this was it, this was the place, begins to cast a spell, drawing something on the ground. And you guys roll Arcana.
Yeah, I'll roll Arcana.
Uh-oh.
That's nice. Got a 19.
15.
19 and 15, you can see that the wizard is drawing a teleportation circle.
Teleportation.
And as soon as it goes up, he activates it, walks away, and it opens up. Through the teleportation circle, you can see 5 more robed people walk through, and he nods to them, and they go in a circle around that one, and they do the same thing. And out of that, you can see 50 people, 10 in each one, come out, and they seem to be survivors from the incident.
Erlon pipes up. What of the city? What happened with the Ed people? Did you kill them all?
Who are you talking to?
Just in general.
In
He's
general?
just calling it out.
One of
Towards the direction of the Oros soldiers, though, and the rogue people, I guess.
One of the Knights of Oros, one that seems to be fairly decorated. 10, if you would recognize that he's decorated as a 2nd Talon. Very high rank. Very high rank.
At least 2 above me.
And he walks up and he offers his hand to you and says, "It's nice to meet you, Erlon, of the Old Gretch Gang."
He
Shakes your hand.
He furrows his brow and picks himself up with his hand, getting up off his ass. And he'll say, "It's good to meet you." I guess that's our moniker now, the Old Gretch Gang, I suppose. Tenet?
If I were there, I would have asked to change that right on the spot.
At that, Tan just shrubs his 2nd talon, was he?
Yep.
And I am...
2nd Claw.
And 2nd claw Tanith reporting, sir.
Says, "Your reputation precedes you, Tanith. Consider yourself 3rd Claw."
Oh.
And he
Thank you,
reaches
sir.
out of his pocket one of the emblems for the 3rd Claw and passes it to you.
Oh, that's good.
He says, after that, he says, "The city's been lost.
I figured as much.
The Overwrought have overrun everything. They have taken it.
How did you get down here?
We followed you."
They took the long way like us.
He
Goodness.
kind of looks over his shoulder to that one wizard you've seen that came out and said that right here. He says, "That one over there had a hunch. I'm glad he was right."
I as well. He looks over to the the walled off section. Did that get caved in? Like the steel wall? We dropped that
The
down?
steel wall just fell down. It's an open cavern again.
Gotcha.
And then you can see over there as you're looking, the one that made the tree casts another spell, and you guys can see the bark of the tree split and crack, open and press against itself, and open in this wide facet. And you can see 30 people run through, and then it closes. And he does it again. 37 people come through. More survivors, it appears.
Bringing everybody down here. Erlon lets in a breath. At least some people made it out alive. For now.
the soldier that you're talking to, the second Talon, says, "There are many survivors. Most made it down to the Korg, but those that have not are here with us.
I thought the Korg was also lost.
It was lost after a time, but it's been buried, caved in, protected from everything, from aid as well.
So we could get there.
I wouldn't suggest it. It's going through the Overoth line.
Then we suspect that there might be a way out down here through these caves, but we have yet to find anything productive. We were trapped here for some time, and he ushers around him. As you can see, there's been death aplenty, but we just barely made it out with our heads, and all these people died. That seems to be the only way we haven't really explored. The others are dead ends.
As you're filling him in on this information about what's going on, that seems to be the main source of where the Overoth are coming from. Lex and Beardo, you guys are standing in a large group of survivors and Knights of Oros in another cavern/cave. It's dark, it's clammy, there's water dripping in the background, it's damp. But there's a tree before you, and the tree splits open wide, and there's someone that yells, "Go! Now! Go!" And you see 40 people just run for the opening. What do you do?
Run.
Okay, Beardo, you run. Lex?
Yeah, run.
Okay. You guys pile through this tree, and you step into this tree, and you keep walking for about 10 feet, and the tree begins to open on the other side. And you guys can see this large platform, this big green cauldron, soldiers everywhere. As you walk through in this area, it's warm, it's hot, not cool and clammy like you guys were in before. You're there with about, I would say about this point, about 100 of the refugees that you guys were with, and there's still in upwards of 500 refugees where you guys were beforehand. But you're now in the Underforge.
Wow.
Roll perception, both of you.
I'm gonna walk in 5.
11 plus. Sorry.
Take those dice now.
12.
12? Okay. So as you walk through, you look at this Underforge and you can see up at the top. And you guys were both at this rather large celebration. And at that celebration where Delron had attacked, much devastation happened. There was this very large, it's called the Dragon's Fang, that hung from the very top of the inside of this mountain that had been dug out all the way, where Delron had grabbed, twisted, and destroyed and pulled it down into the earth. And then from there, there was just complete destruction as the Overoth, the Ant People, the Formians, came in and began to kill and slaughter and throw people into the void. But now, you survived. You were able to get where you're going. Your wizard counterpart was unable to survive.
Okay.
He died in the catastrophe that happened.
Okay.
You guys are here now. Unfortunately, Lex, you don't recognize anybody here. There's just too much mass of people. It's chaotic. Everybody's moving around, trying to make space for anybody coming out of the portals and out of the teleportation circles. Since I completely forgot that Nani was going to leave with Galus, because for some reason, I thought you'd be around to do some fighting, but you're not. Just use your character sheet, and I'm going to give you one of the random barbarians that came that are survivors, and just use all your stats, all your stuff, and kind of thing, so you can still get in on the action. Just you're not going to be Nani. You're just going to be somebody else.
Una.
I was just sitting here thinking, like, we just accidentally wrote you out.
We
Yeah,
just, no,
yeah,
you
it's
just
just
got removed from. I didn't realize you had made a new character. This was a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize it was happening like that.
Yeah, it kind of happened fast, and it kind of slipped my brain that, shit, your character's gone. We're going to have to do something about that when combat comes.
Conveniently, there's a lot of people to choose from.
Exactly. And
Could be
definitely at
another
least one of
crazy old
them
lady.
is going to be a dwarven barbarian.
Yeah.
Oh,
At least.
at least one dwarf there is very, very mad.
So so let's put you in the place
Yes,
of a
it had
female
one.
dwarven miner that has lost her whole family,
Oh,
and
trauma.
you have a big shovel instead of a big frying pan right now.
I also need
Shovel,
hit
if you
points.
sharpen the edge, it's max.
Yes. Roll your hit points for Lex right now.
I don't remember how to do
The D10s, roll 4 D10s. You're level 5. You have max hit points to start with, so it's going to be 10 plus your Constitution. So roll 4 D10.
that. It's a lot of number skill.
So roll 4 D10.
5 d10s.
Well, 4 D10 because her first is max. She's level 5.
A 0, 10,
Yes, it is.
Oh.
It looks big.
28, 36. That's exactly what Kate said. 36. That's
There you
fine.
go.
Plus 10.
Plus
Oh,
10.
plus 10, so 46.
And then plus your Constitution modifier times 5.
What?
So
Con modifier
You
times
get your
5.
Constitution modifier every time you
Each
level.
Okay.
level you get your con.
So I've added 10 to this.
Yep.
Then I'm adding
What's your Constitution?
modifiers plus 2.
Plus 2, so add 10 more.
So 56.
Yep.
Pretty beefy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Beefcake. She's thick. 2 C's. That boy, he's thick.
So we're gonna.
Do you have hit points?
14.
Yeah, this is still.
I forgot, yeah. I was like, Jesus, how did you I'm gonna steal.
Humanly possible, mathematically incorrect.
It's so cute over there.
I'm like, wait a
Why
minute.
can't they come fast real quick?
It is possible though if you roll like one the whole
Ones.
time and forget your con
And
mod.
have no con.
And the gods also roll ones. It's very possible.
Oh yeah.
Very
Terrible,
possible.
but possible.
Terrible, yes. That's why we offer that second chance, because it sucks to roll a 1 for hit point.
It'd be a stupid game if we just rolled and had minimum HP the whole time. We were so easy
That
to kill.
would make it really tough for me.
Well, you just have to change.
To not just decimate everybody every single combat.
Yep, you're like, new character. No.
When you have a pile, you just pick one.
Good thing I've got 20 to choose from.
I made Constitution my dump stat because I'm an idiot.
I made
See, that's-
intelligence
well,
that
you're-
become violent.
That's the thing with the
You're
monk.
still
though.
alive, though.
You're supposed to never be hit.
Yeah.
Right? And you're immune to poison at one point, so it's okay. You can bank on it.
Later on.
I made
do it
intelligence
as well.
my dump stat because I'm an idiot. Literally 10 if this is not the brightest. He's not the brightest
Wisdom
torch
is
in the
my dump
dungeon.
for this one.
Sorry?
Wisdom is my dump.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Correct.
Not the
So, Nani, you're gonna. No, that's right, Nani. You're gonna come in as
Norman.
Nina.
yeah,
You know.
I used
Say-
to be able to
let's
pick
say-
your own name. Who would you like?
Barbara.
yeah. Pick a name.
Beardra.
Director name for Gritty.
It's Beardra.
Pick an old miner's wife name.
Gretchen.
It's put the Gretchen join the Gretch Gang.
She's the wife of the late owner.
I mean,
Mama came back.
Greta Ironhandle.
yeah, sure.
Greta Ironhandle.
My grandmother's name.
Ironbeard.
Well, not Iron Handle, obviously. Although, close, fuck.
Call it Greta Ironbeard for her flaming red beard.
What do you say?
Sure.
All right, perfect.
Because you know, dwarf women have glorious beards.
Your nickname is Bloodbeard.
Perfect.
Okay.
Because it gets stained with the blood of your enemies.
It's gross.
Yeah. You just had afterbirth in your hands. But that's gross.
Well, it's
So-
pretty
so
crazy
Gretchen.
life in the world.
Afterbirth on your hands or the blood of your enemies in your beard?
Don't take it to my mouth.
You bit off your ex-husband's ear for infidelity.
Alright, Mike Tyson, calm down.
I was gonna go there if you didn't.
Yar.
The Dragonborn commander. He introduces himself as Grethlo.
Creflo?
Grethlo. Commander Grethlo, however you want to say it. Very good to see you in person. You've done the Knights of Oros well. But I have business to take care of. He nods to you, Tanith, and he nods to you, Erlon. He looks around, almost anticipating to see more people, but doesn't see those people. And just, you guys can see a grimace on his face. Maybe a grimace of, almost sadness, perhaps. maybe remorse that they didn't get there sooner, perhaps.
Insight.
DC 12 or higher, you got it.
Yeah. I'll roll as well.
Oh,
No?
no, 7.
7? No.
8.
A grimace. He just grimaces.
I have +6.
Oh my god.
A 2 on the dice.
Oh, burns.
So he grimaces and then walks back down the platform. You guys can see more portals opening up, and it only happens about 3 or 4 times, and then you can visibly see that these magic users walking around are sweating, leaning on the soldiers and huffing and puffing, and they seem to be done. But there's approximately about 250 survivors and soldiers now walking around, seemingly setting up camps in different areas, posting guards, heavy guard at all of the entrances, and that's kind of what's going on right now.
Is there anywhere I could get some cloths, just like scrap cloths and water?
They did bring in some supplies with them when they were coming, things people were holding, and you do see that one of the robed figures that was coming in has cast the create food and water spell, and on the ground there just seems to be basins of water and food all set around. You can
Buckets
see
of
people.
KFC.
Boneless.
Create KFC.
Popcorn chicken.
That's my favorite spell now.
Create KFC. The corn.
I will DM a
KFC,
game someday
KFC
in the
and Mountain
Kentucky
Dew, what's not
Chicken
to like?
Universe.
Erlon will just take some scrap cloths from around and just use the prestidigitation on him because high elf.
Yep.
And he'll use that on him just to clean him up, and he'll dip him in water, wring him out, and he'll go and just offer him to the sweating wizards.
Of course.
There's our title, Sweaty Wizards.
So, as you're going through, I'll get you to roll perception, Erlon.
Perception.
I need to roll Perspiration.
12.
That's good. Aspirations.
I got
12?
12.
Alright, as you're walking through, you can see. How tall are you?
Oh,
Are you tall or short?
I think I'm. Hang on, Oscar.
The one you're seeking was tall.
The one I'm seeking was
Tall.
Tall.
He was tall.
Was he?
Yeah.
Is that
Not
weakness?
enough fun if you don't know what it looks
6'3".
like.
Oh, I think I'm. Sorry, I don't.
So height might go in the blood.
Last session I used my inspiration
Where would
dice.
that be under? George, what section is?
That should be.
Oh, yeah. Everybody from last session
Description.
gets a dice of inspiration just for the sheer awesome roleplay, guys. Just the sheer awesome roleplay. Carry that over to your player as it's a player thing, not a character thing. So
5'8".
5'8". So you see this, and okay, so you are walking through, and you see this woman in gleaming green armor. Lex, would you please describe yourself?
Not an alcoholic. I am 5'8". I have gleaming black hair with very tan skin from spending lots of time outdoors. Blue eyes and appear to be a female.
And you're wearing gleaming green armor.
Should I explain the armor?
Who looks well polished.
Sure.
Perhaps
Have you
if
decided on what it looks like yet? I'm giving you the option to design what the armor looks like. So go for it.
You said emerald green. I don't know what armor would normally.
Emerald.
Full plate armor.
Emerald. Apparently. Full plate. Very dark details with silver outlines.
That actually looked really good. Dark
You-
green with silver.
Yeah.
You recognize it as the Emerald Guard armor. You've seen it before. They've been
Listen,
through
I
your
didn't
city.
pick this.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
When he wrote that on my paper, I'm like, it's all this pussy.
Is that the case?
That is the case.
So I recognize that garb as Emerald Guard. And they're a part of the. She seems to be a part of the refugees.
Do I have a rank? What rank would I be?
some form of commander.
Oh.
Very well respected in the Emerald Guard, I would say. 7 on the D8.
So perhaps I have multiple lines like, of the silver, maybe silver stars or something. For rank. I don't know what armor.
So the beauty of it is that you get to make it up. Do you have like the
Oh yeah,
Nice pauldron.
those cool like.
what are they called?
Pauldrons.
Yeah, can we have ones that come out like little swoops?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Fancy art.
I want to be fancy with the emerald card.
That's right.
Yeah.
Tannins is basic as shit, but it's black.
Shine no matte black. So you fit
You
in.
blend in
with
the
darkness.
I still go clank, 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 but you know.
Yeah, but you're also 9 feet tall. It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Stealthy. Stealth isn't
I'll
really
get
the
you to roll
aim.
perception. I'll get you to roll perception, Lex, please.
Erlon is.
I just wanted to ask an inspiration.
Of course you can. I love when you blow it on roleplay. It's not a blow. It's solidifying the roleplay is what it is. It's solidifying. I do it all the time to make sure my roleplay stays in action. Ha!
It's an 8.
So
You're too busy looking for someone else. Too busy. You had met with an old woman in Delron who cast a scrying spell that directed you this way, to this place. And then you were there at the catastrophe that happened and you seen what went down. You know who the Old Gretch Gang is. But right now,
The
you're just not
remaining
catching
2.
them. Exactly,
3.
exactly.
Oh yeah, Decksmith.
Dexter's is still here.
It's true. It's true.
Erlon had
PCs
just
though.
Erlon had just finished handing one of the wizards basically a damp towel to cool themselves off, as they seemed really strained. And he turned around, started walking towards another one, and out of the peripheral vision, he saw the green, and it immediately clicked.
The glitter of the firelight catching the green and silver highlights.
And just for a moment, the sounds of the conversations and mutterings of the refugees seemed to fade away for Erlon, and all that he could feel was a steadily becoming rapid heartbeat. And see, what's your character's name? Or
Lex, but you wouldn't know that.
yeah, I wouldn't know that. So Lex, you would just feel as though somebody's staring at you with murderous intent.
Boring eyes into my soul.
You don't even need to roll for it. Like, you can see Erlon, this man dressed in green and brown and tan
green, eh?
darks.
It's funny.
Lighter green. It's more almost
I would agree.
Grenhilden green.
almost this, but paler is what I imagine.
We
Like
just
this.
made it crayon.
Like a field green.
Like this.
Scrambled. Scrambled is that color.
This is what I imagine for the company.
Man, you're yes, absolutely.
Like a bale of
You're the believer in Grenhilden, the
For
spooky
those
makeup,
of
whatever
us-
the hell you want about it.
So
Audio listeners, it's almost a pale teal.
It actually looks like
A pale teal
Natural.
mint.
It's like a minty, like natural what?
natural emeralds are actually that color.
Jade.
I'm
Jade.
getting.
There you go.
Jade's more
I'm
brown.
kind of getting like a
Perfect.
bale of
I
hay.
love the word jade. The name
Jade's
Jade.
nice
That's
color.
perfect. We're gonna make jade the color of Grenhilden.
And Erlon just begins to sweat, and his hands kind of clam up, and he drops the remaining towels that he has, and you can see both of his fists begin to ball up, and he's starting to make his way over to you.
Okay. I mean, I don't know that you hate me, so.
Unconcerned.
Generally, you've been well respected everywhere you've gone so far.
Commander, I fucking should be.
Yeah.
Excellent attitude to have. Yes.
It's not very southern. It's not very southern belle of you, though.
Let's see.
It's a new rank.
So I see him approaching me.
Yeah.
Silver
And-
bells.
And he looks like he's going to rip you in half.
I'm getting ready to like greet you and shake your hand and.
She's that kind
All
of commander.
flat.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll insight.
Okay.
That Lex.
Up here.
No, she is.
It's your
She
wisdom,
can
your
try to
wisdom.
shake his hand.
Well,
And he looks beaten, too, because he just got out of, like,
so I think you're coming to me for like help, and I'm like, oh yes, I'm needed already.
What you can see right off the bat, you recognize him.
Oh yes.
You were there.
Yes, from the Gretch Gang.
That's right.
Oh yes! Oh, it's him again! Hi!
We're going with the voice. Bayless with 5 fucking boring. I loved her, don't get me wrong, but she was a little boring. I mean, until she birthed gods, and then we got rid of her, so.
Yeah, she got cool and
She got plot armor, then vanished.
And took the good fighter with her.
Can I make a quick addendum to the ranks of the Knights of Oros?
How so?
Like, currently, like, Kenneth got promoted to second claw, now he's third claw.
Yep.
Can I switch it where you, like, when you start a new rank, you're at third, and then you work your way up to first? Because it sounds, like,
Yeah.
more impressive that way.
You're
Because it makes sense to start your way off at, like, third.
kind of like
Implies
bronze,
low.
silver, gold.
We haven't really covered it that much, so
We should actually
okay
figure
with
this out.
that.
'cause
I
it makes-
actually had it written down just the complete opposite, but in roleplay, we never really got into it.
Yeah.
Because there was nobody that was well ranked except for you, and it was just you were first, and then.
I know.
I'm kind of going from, like, actual military ranks where, like,
See, those are things I know nothing about. So if you want to do that, do that. Absolutely.
I just want
that would make
shoulders on.
Kenneth now first claw, I think.
Here we go. Look, I'm going to give you the breakdown. All soldiers entering the Knights of Oros start as scales. One of many. The scales, through devotion and examples of grandeur, get raised to third tiers. First, second, and third tier. We go from there. Scales can go to claws, can go to wings. Wings are the next one up from claws to wings, are horns, talons, and eyes. And they all have different specific things they do.
Okay. Because if they just switch the numbering, so, like, third tier sounds a lot less
We'll
impressive
just
than
switch
first
it
tier.
around. So you're first, and the one, and the one that you met second is still second. He was second Talon. So you would know Talon is command structure.
Talon is
Uh,
fucking spicy. That's like
horn?
generals.
Yeah, basically the horn after claw or wing. If you got a horn, that's your attack specialist. Your front man. The guy. You would be a perfect horn in your stage right now. Perfect horn.
I just haven't been promoted that far yet.
Not yet. You're still a claw.
That's
But
been a
claw
long-
generally goes from scale, claw to horn. That's generally the thing.
Eyes
A
are
wing
intelligence.
is more like scouts, espionage, things of that nature. And then they go to eyes, which are heavy espionage. And then there's also another step that goes to ears, which you don't even know. You wouldn't even know if
Do we
you were
have a-
standing next to an ear or not. So we'll switch that up. We'll reverse it. Third, second, first, like that. That's good.
Erlon gets within about
Have a bad.
5 feet of you, and he's just standing there and staring at you, and that animosity in his face turned to a blank stare. He's looking through you, and he says, you can almost not make it out because of just the noise of the rest of the people around you, but he says, I'm going to give you one opportunity to tell me why your men killed my family, or I will kill you where you stand.
Her smile falters for just a second, because she was not prepared for that. I don't know anything about your family.
You can hear his knuckles crack.
And that took effort.
And he passes out.
Has a stroke, bro.
Just a brain aneurysm. Right
Error,
there.
down again.
Me and my man, we were just up at the thing, and we saw y'all, and I don't know anything about your family.
Del, Ron, think.
You have been away from Delron for quite some time. You have been given leave from the higher command structure
For personal.
for personal. You've been given personal leave, and before you left, everything seemed fine.
I haven't been in Delron for quite some time.
Define quite some time.
Please pause while my memory kicks in.
She's got a bad memory. Gotta give her a moment.
11 months.
It's been at least 11 months. I'm Lex, by the way. Can I have anything? She just smiled at you.
You can see his balled up fists go lax. I need to go. Erlon turns around and just
this way.
He just walks off.
She's gonna follow him.
You know who he is.
Wait for me. She runs up and taps you on the shoulders slightly.
Just one more thing.
I have a question.
You can see him tense up, and he just kind of turns his head slightly to the side to acknowledge you. Says nothing though.
Do you have the rest of the Old Gretch Gang with you?
Thank you for watching the Death Needs Dialogue Entertainment Network. This has been The Depths of Felthan, Episode 22, The New Gretch Gang, Part A.